Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 4 of Button Masters, the podcast where we talk about video game news and releases and nerd out a bit. Now. Yes, we've almost beaten Lord of the Rings. Well, wait, no, not even close. Never mind. Moving on.
Hell no.
I'm Chris.
I'm Connor.
And we'll be guiding you through the show today. You can find the show on Soundcloud or YouTube under Game of Dorks or Soundcloud or iTunes or whatever podcasting device platform you listen on under Button Mashers.
You said SoundCloud twice.
Yeah, okay. Because SoundCloud gets double points.
That it does. Because it's free.
Yeah. We're college students.
We don't have money.
Students as of this summer, I guess. Anyway, there's a bunch of cool stuff today. We have some news stories about VR, some stuff about Sega. We'll go over releases and we'll talk a bit about the
notable ones because there's a lot of releases this week.
Yeah, we've trimmed it down a bit, but we'll also talk a little bit about the DMCA strikes.
Oh yes, that's always fun.
That are happening this week. But first, our favorite segment. What have we been playing? Do you mind if I start us off?
Sure, go ahead.
Because
you have some things to say.
Boy, Rocket League has just twisted its way into my heart, and I can't stop, won't stop. And it is a blessing and a curse. Alrighty, we're back. Sorry about that. The camera's battery died, so we had to switch it out.
Technical difficulties.
Stuff's gonna happen. So, what I was talking about, Rocket League.
Right.
So I bought the PC version because it was on sale on Steam Summer Sale.
As many things are.
And I started a new account there and started playing a bunch. And got into the high silver, and even for a glorious roughly 30 minutes was gold before I got kicked off. Which is fine. It sounds impressive. It's actually not that impressive. They're still above gold. You still have platinum, then you have diamond, then you have champion, and then you have grand champion. So there's still quite the ladder to climb. Mm-hmm. Gold is the new bronze. But it was still glorious for a moment. But it was on a separate account.
Right.
Which is really frustrating because some family was over and they wanted to play GTA, so I gave them my computer and I was playing Rocket League on my PS4, which is now on my account where I got demoted to bronze, and I wanted to rip my hair out playing with. You know how when you get really good at sport at a particular sport like ping pong, and you get to a high enough level of play where weak players can actually beat you because you're not used to the way they play anymore.
Right.
Because you've been playing like better players for a long enough time that coming back to somebody who just plays as a hobby, they will beat you.
Right.
Because they're not playing the way you expect them to play, which is on a high level.
Same thing with really anything, Titanfall, chess.
Yeah, exactly. And
any game you step away from for a little while, or you get used to a certain play style, and then things adapt and change. So being high silver, low gold, and then jumping into mid bronze where I got demoted because I had a really bad lose streak on one day, it was a nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare. So I'm slowly gritting through my teeth and trying to grind back up to silver because I've been playing on the PS4 for forever. And I have a lot more unlocks there, a lot more cool like customizations for my car. So I want to play on that account because that's where I got my car decked out. Yeah. And my boost is lightning, So obviously, who doesn't want that? I do.
Yeah. So yeah, more Rocket League for me. I also bought Darkest Dungeon, hopped a little bit into that. That game is hard as hell. It's got a bit of a learning curve, so I'm walking through it. I've only delved a little bit into it. It seems very fun. It seems like a game that would be fun, really fun if you get some friends together and then name each character after yourselves and then sort of role play it a little bit.
That sounds like a great idea for a Let's Play. Let's do that one day.
We should throw that idea in the idea bag. Oh,
Mike!
Not the mic. Not the mic. The mic doesn't belong in the idea bag.
No, this stays here. Yeah. I need this thing. I like this
Alrighty,
thing.
So that's been it for me. How about you, Connor?
For me, it's as usual. Titanfall 2, again,
weekly check-in?
The weekly check-in. I'm looking forward to the new DLC, but we'll talk about that when we get to releases. It's been a really fun time getting used to the new Monarch Titan and the old new map. They brought it back from the first game. But it's been a good time. They've introduced a new game mode right now called High TTK, which is higher time to kill, so pilots take more damage before they die. So it's a little bit... It changes up the balance just the tiniest bit, but I haven't noticed a huge shift. But it is a lot of fun. Other than that, I went back and I decided to play Shadow of Mordor again, just because.
Does that age well?
A little bit. I mean, graphically, technologically wise, it still looks great. But the thing you often forget about the game going into it is the first half is really weak because you can't get into it so much because, for one thing, all the fun abilities and attacks are locked behind the skill tree, so you have to unlock them one by one, and as such, early combat is severely more limited, particularly because I made the mistake of playing the game on my old account where I had everything unlocked and, stomping fools for a little while and trying to have fun with the Nemesis system again, but I can't
just
because...
racking noobs.
Yeah, because... noob orcs. Yeah. No orc bros right now.
Not yet.
Not yet. Come October. Oh, I'm excited. Yeah. Playing with those weaker orcs, I was like, okay, I needed more of a challenge here. I need to feel like I have a nemesis. So I went back to the beginning of the game again. And it was not as fun because I was suddenly down to half of where I had been,
Yeah, that for me, I remember that game really clicking once I got the make an ally ability.
Yeah,
and
the
I started
brand
just
ability.
being like, all right, this castle's mine because,
Yeah. And that's halfway through the game. That's where it really opens up and it really becomes its own thing, which is a damn shame, because the combat is fine, but it's not strong enough, I think, to carry the game on its own.
Yeah, by the way, that game is on Steam now for $4.
Oh, so if you haven't played Shadow of Mordor, pick it up on Steam.
Yeah.
This is a plug for Shadow of Mordor that has not been sponsored by anyone except our own gushing.
As everything in this podcast. Alrighty, that's been it for what we've been playing. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of Assassin's Creed style, Shadow of Mordor style, those are both coming back. I was going to say Shadow of Mordor style games, but it's really just those two.
Yeah.
Anyway, we should move on to the stories because it's a slow week, but it's still an interesting week.
E3 is over, so now it's time to get back to actual gaming news that doesn't like trailer, gush.
Yeah, that isn't like or like
right. No.
Yeah. Anyway, so the first story on the docket is the Sony Resident Evil 7 success is a big surprise to Sony themselves. Apparently Resident Evil 7 on VR, specifically on VR, on PSVR, it has a little bit of that Bloodborne effect where they didn't expect that many players to jump into VR because of this game. And it's still, right now, the quote-unquote system seller for PSVR, the only big one that they got.
Well, see, to me, that makes perfect sense. Because... what's the biggest thing on VR right now? Whether you're a streamer or whether you actually have VR and you're playing it, horror, right?
Yeah.
And Resident Evil 7
is the most effective genre.
Yeah, Resident Evil 7 is one of the most effective horror games of the past 5 years.
It's excellent.
Yeah, it's a great game.
I can't watch it played.
I played through the game in a whole sitting. I sat down and
yeah, I can't. I'm too much of a wuss.
That's something else we're gonna do for a Let's Play.
Maybe for Halloween. When we bring out the scary stuff, we'll bring out RE7 and I'll play through it and I'll die.
I'll sit there and I'll watch and just be like
yeah, I'll just Photoshop like devil horns onto you for the entire video. Anyway, the interesting thing here was percentages. So Sony doesn't like to talk about numbers. They're very,
unless it's the
PS4
that
way. Yeah,
it's the PS4 sales numbers because they're bigger than Microsoft.
Absolutely. And so they have said, and by the way, this article comes from VentureBeat by Jamie Feltham. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Sorry.
Feltham.
Excuse me.
It could be anything.
And Sony, he quotes Sony here saying that the percentage of people who played it in VR is in double digits, and it's not like 10.1% either. So we can safely assume it's in, at least bumping up against like a higher percentage, like 30% maybe or something. I mean, that's just a pure speculation guess, that 30%, but
I mean,
it's surprising. Also, at the end of April, it was revealed that the game had sold 3.5 million units.
That's great. It's great for Resident Evil. Resident Evil 7
that's really great.
It was a really good game.
Also, the thing that's tough about it though is it hasn't like the action ones 6 and 7. 5 and 6. 5 and 6 have still by a large number outsold 7.
Right. But the critical response has been so much better, and the fan response has been so much better than for 7.
And I think had they had another flop with another action-packed game, I think in 5 and 6 people were still like, maybe we'll get good again. Yeah, so
I mean,
and after 2 consecutive misses, if 7 hadn't been a critical darling, it would have way undersold. I think.
I think so. It might be underselling right now. I don't think so. I hope not, because it deserves money.
It's absolutely fantastic from the opening 20 minutes that I've seen, after which I've been like, nope, close that browser. Anyway, I'm just happy for VR because it got all this buzz at the launch of every console, and then it was just like radio quiet.
Yeah, radio sounds
so
a while.
It's exciting that the people who have picked it up are A, happy with it, and B, playing it.
Right.
So good for Sony. I mean, they made
good for Sony for sticking to their guns on this one. What have we heard about HoloLens or anything of AR from Microsoft in the past 2 years?
I think Sony learned their lesson through the Vita, where they were like, "This is great,"
the PlayStation Move,
but nobody knows about it. I even thought that the Move was pretty cool. It was just a bit gimmicky, yeah.
Right.
Anyway, so that's the first story. Moving on, we have a little update on what we talked about last week with the Creation Club, which you can check it out. That's episode 3. The Grand Theft Auto modding tool gets updated, and it's available again. So Open4 is back in its full glory.
Yes.
And it's exciting. Rockstar basically stepped in, and they've said that...
Good guy, Rockstar.
That we want our mods, and we want them now. And Take-Two said, all right.
Yeah, you guys make us lots of money. So sure, why not? We'll let you do what you want.
Yeah, and... I think the conversation was more like Rockstar being like, "Hey, dude, our critical reception is tanking right now," and then Take-Two was like, "Whatever it takes to make you that money, give us that money. We'll do whatever you want."
Yeah, like, we will stop this if you don't want us to stop.
Yeah, that's like, they'll do whatever they need to do. Like if it's like the Star Wars of video games. If Star Wars is looking bad, the studio will go, "I don't care. Director is fired, actors replaced, whatever it takes to make this one good, because it will make..." Whoa. Yeah. Because it will make $1 bajillion.
Sad.
Yeah, and apparently that's what they're doing with the Han Solo movie, whatever that thing is.
I don't know anymore.
That looks rough.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's a win for modders, and I'm just
it's a win
happy,
for everybody, really.
I'm just happy that Rockstar was like, oh shit.
Yeah, and that they understand the community enough to backtrack on this clearly terrible idea. This was a good move on Rockstar's part. Good for you, Rockstar. I'm still gonna buy Red Dead 2.
Yeah. The only thing I hope that they start doing DLC again with that game. Yeah. I know it's not profitable, but it's like, obviously they want goodwill from their players.
Yeah.
As they have proven now.
Hey, you know what? If you can mix the strategy that you've been doing with Grand Theft Auto Online and do actual story-based DLC when you get to Red Dead 2, and you do them both, if you have the resources for that, then do it. And you know what? Guess we will pay the money. You will get money from us if you do that.
Absolutely.
That's an idea.
Yeah.
Just saying. You can have that one, Rockstar.
Yeah. I also hired this guy.
No.
I'm just Kidding. Unless you want to, then I mean, I guess
I don't have
free.
the inclination to move to England.
They're based in England?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting. Anyway, next story is the Sega games thing. I forget what it's called.
The classic Sega games from Genesis to Dreamcast are going free, but with ads on mobile.
So this is
very interesting concept, very layered concept, and we're gonna have a very
they're doing the Clash of Clans thing.
Yep.
So to lay out some facts, some straight facts. It's some classic Sega games that are coming to mobile for free with ads, like we just said. The games are going to be in the style of Crazy Taxi, which was released a while ago, which it's free, but you can remove the ads for $2. But the $2 don't get you anything else besides removing the ads.
Right.
So the games on the docket are Sonic the Hedgehog, Altered Beast, Comics Zone, Kid Chameleon, and Phantasy Star 2.
I've heard of one of those games.
AKA Sonic and Friends.
Yeah, basically.
Why is my nose so itchy? I don't know. Anyway, the thing is, so also they're gonna include controller support somehow. I don't know how that works, the technicalities of that, but they're gonna try to do that. This for me is very frustrating because not that it's a bad idea. I just think it's poorly executed. And I think we disagree on this a little bit. So I'm gonna
just a tiny bit.
I'm gonna like say my piece and then you can say yours and we can talk a little bit more if you want. But
all right.
I think this is a bad idea because platformers on mobile suck. They're hard to control, they're hard to be precise with specifically. And Sonic requires specifically Sonic requires a lot of precision controls with that speed and everything. And with this whole, like, including controller support, like, I get that they're trying to be inclusive, but I think the much better place to release this is on a system like the Switch, where people are actually willing to pay, and you don't have to do ads and all this stuff. I think on mobile, the best that they could do is continue to release the, like, and support the Endless Runner Sonics, which I have had a blast with, and I have played hours and hours. So much so that when the Sonic Runner, Endless Runner, that game that came out, I forget who made it, but when it came out, I like beat all the missions, and I beat that game completely. And I mean, now they have more missions and everything, but I beat it on my phone, and that was like, I think, one of the few games that I actually beat on my phone. But I just I just don't think that this works on the mobile platform. I think this would be excellent for the Switch and the Vita or the handhelds. I think it's a mistake for mobile because most people won't get the controller, and I do not believe that without the controller, this game will play well.
All right. I agree that the Switch is the better place to have these games, particularly Sonic, which seems to be the focus of this disagreement.
Right.
I believe that the Switch is honestly the common sense choice because it can go anywhere, just like a mobile, but it comes with the controllers. I mean, if you're in an airport or in a train station and you have one of these, or if you're just in like the backseat of a car during rush hour and you've got one of these, it might look a little weird, but you know, the Switch is a new thing. I'm sure in a year and a half people will get used to it.
It's a little big, but
yeah,
who cares?
Who cares? It's a tablet. However, I do not think that. What's the word? How can I put this? I don't think that Sega is suffering by putting these games on mobile. And I say that because they can design the control schemes for mobile so that the precision still matters. There are far more simple platformers on mobile that work just fine the way they are.
Give me an example.
What's the one where you shout at the screen to make it jump and move?
Yeah, that's like it's like some kind of chicken game, I think.
It's a chicken game. It's like Screaming Chicken, you know.
Yeah.
What I don't know what the game is called, but if you've seen the game, you know what I'm talking about. Basically, the sound of your voice is the controller. I think that this can work. I don't think it will work well. I think it will work better on the Switch, but I think this can work, and I think, hopefully that this will turn out to be a better game than we might actually give it credit for.
I hope so too, but my problem with it is every time Sonic has tried to reinvent himself, 99% of the time, it underwhelms, and people are like, no, man, I just want classic Sonic.
Right.
And so I think for Sonic to do a screaming thing or a whatever, I just...
Oh, no. I've never
seen... Right, I understand, but I've never seen a having a little jump button and a little left and right button on your phone sucks. It's imprecise. It's hard to control. It's really bad. The alternative ways to do it is to just tap. The game I'm thinking of that does this well is Monument Valley, where you just tap around and your character moves around. But the problem with that is like with the speed of Sonic and the way Sonic controls, it's just I really think that they're... Oh, what just happened?
I don't know.
Did you just lose sound?
I don't think so.
No? Okay, I'll just keep powering through it. I think my headphones just went out. Whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, it goes. It's fine. It's fine. We're away from the bike.
I'm back.
We're back at the bike. Yay!
Yeah. Sorry, guys. My headphones went out there for a second, and I got freaked out that the recording stopped, as it did once already during this episode. Anyway, I just don't think that this is going to work, but we will have to see. I'm excited to try it, and we'll report once how it is once it's out. I mean, it's free, so like
no, it's
not
out.
like
it came out yesterday.
It came out yesterday.
It came out the other day.
I should have played it. I'm gonna try it in the next couple days, and we may do an update on it
next episode.
All right,
I'm actually gonna make a note of that.
That's a good idea. Thank you.
Behold, people.
All right, the next story
I am official.
For the audio listeners, he's writing down on a gigantic pad of paper that I provided him with, so we feel legit today. Anyway, the next story is about Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. The new hard mode has a separate save slot. The funny headline for this that Laura Kate Dale said on the Podquisition was Zelda now has 2 save slots, kind of.
Kind of, yes.
So I didn't realize this because when you go through your game, Zelda actually makes many multiple autosaves.
Yeah.
Tons.
It would have to. It's a massive game.
Yeah, and you can also make separate saves. So I thought, that's just like a save bank, and when you make a new game, you'll just have to find your save. That's not the case. I looked into this, and I didn't even realize this because I only used one save. If you start a new game, Zelda will erase all autosaves.
Oh.
Including all your manual saves, everything.
Oh.
It's like you're resetting that game to blank.
Yeah.
Which is super dangerous. Because I even looked into the way it's worded, it's not clear. It will say, we will wipe your save. It doesn't specifically say, we will wipe all your saves.
Right.
Which is really scary.
Yeah. You don't want to restart, especially if it's on hard mode.
Right. And it's like, with the way it's so easy to, you can easily go down the list and load up previous saves from days ago, weeks ago, whatever, months ago. So this is very confusing to me to find. And also, the second save is only on hard mode. It's only one save, and it's all your saves are still tied to the memory card and to the Switch. Like, you can't transfer saves, copy saves, any of that stuff. So if I toss my Switch into the water right now and then I get a replacement one, my saves are gone forever.
Yeah.
There's no cloud saves or anything. So Nintendo, you've been doing so well. Just God damn it.
Please don't fuck it up.
Just go the last mile. Just
nobody's extra mile. Come on.
Nobody's looking to steal your, and it doesn't even matter. The argument for traditional consoles like Sony and Xbox would be, we don't want people to steal trophies from just sharing their saves and stuff. And it's
fair, but
Switch doesn't even have that. So it's why bother? Just it's so annoying.
Next story.
I thought I had more to say about that, but then I realized I don't. Anyway, moving on. This is the final story of today.
The final story.
And I had to sneak one in because I am the most hype person ever. Crash Bandicoot N. Sane Trilogy brings nothing but attitude and charm. Also, I'm going to quickly source all these articles because I didn't do that. The GTA story came from Polygon by Owen S. Good. The Sega games came from GameSpot by Kevin Nezevic. I hope I'm pronouncing that.
Nevezic.
One of those hopefully is right. The Zelda
hopefully
is
not the last one.
The Zelda comes by Tamor Hossein, and I didn't write a source there, so sorry about that. And this Crash story is coming from Cog Connected, just by their team.
That's not a name.
Doesn't have a
name. It's an outlet.
It's made by computers, ready to take us all down and take over the world. But this is basically just an article that says our people have played Crash at E3, and oh my god, it's great. And
yeah,
I just want to talk a little bit about how much Crash means to me. So to give you a little bit of backstory, Crash Bandicoot 2 was my first real video game, and that's what made me fall in love with games. And after Crash 3, Activision was like, let's see how much money this can make in the shortest amount of time possible. And then all the Crash fans were like, no, please don't do that. No, please. I beg of you, don't. Oh. Then nobody bought the games. Then Activision was like, fuck it.
Yeah, we're done.
This franchise is dead. And then all the Crash fans were like, why you kill it? Why you kill it? Why you do this?
Why you do this?
And so it's just really nice, even in the recent years with games like Spider-Man, to see some companies step up and say, you know what, this franchise has been mistreated. Let's do it justice.
Try again.
Let's do it justice. Let's do this right. You know, let's put the Insomniac team on Spider-Man. Let's put Vicarious Visions on Crash. People who I have read that have in research played the original game so much that they broke controllers. And it's like, that's the people who you need.
Yeah.
The dedication is palpable.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
4K, I am so ready. Even though I don't have a Pro.
No, I don't have an Xbox One X. A One X.
Yeah.
Or a 4K TV.
Yeah, I don't have $500 lying around for one of those. Anyway, so I just wanted to gush about Crash a bit. Yeah. I'm so pumped.
This podcast is about gushing. And you know what? If you want to gush about Crash, gush about Crash. I'm going to be gushing a little bit later about the new Titanfall DLC.
Gushing sounds like a candy that we should sell. Anyway, moving on.
I'm pretty sure that's copyrighted.
Really?
Fruit, gushers. That's a candy.
Oh, you're totally right. My brain, I don't know why my brain didn't make that connection. Maybe we'll make a candy that's called Gushing and then sue gushers for copying us. Because that's how things are done these days on YouTube.
Oh, you want to get into that now?
Okay. Those are the news stories, and let's get into the topic of the show. Yeah. The DMCA strikes on YouTube.
Right, and we don't mean in general because these have been going on for a little while. Digi homicide, taking down Jim Sterling, that kind of thing. No, this is stuff that has come up in the last week.
Specifically, and I'm blanking on her name.
Alex Maurer.
So I'm just gonna give the viewers a rundown if they've never heard of this.
Right. And I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't. It's new.
Yeah, it's fairly new. So Sid Alpha made a video initially breaking the story. Then Total Biscuit and Jim Sterling have made their own videos trying to signal boost the issue.
Right.
Because
and we'll leave links to those in the doobly-doo.
Yeah, if I remember. Yeah. Okay. Now that you said it, I should remember.
I will write it down.
Thank you.
Professional.
With style.
With style and elegance.
We have pens and paper.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so just to give you this basic rundown, remind me of your name real quick again.
Alex Maurer.
Alex Maurer is a musician who works on games. Has worked on a couple games in the past.
Specifically composer.
Composer, right? And she worked on this 2D
space shoot 'em up
type of game.
Similar to the game that we're looking forward to from E3 the last night.
Right.
Yeah, same art style basically, but with spaceships instead of crime noir.
Right. Bullet hell type of vibes, and pixel art, Enter the Gungeon type of art style as well.
It looks like a fun game.
Yeah, it looks like a fun game. She claims they refused to pay her for her work that she was contracted to. She also, for some reason, thought that she still owned the copyright for her work, even though that's not true, because in the contract it said that they retain the rights. Anyway, so she claimed they didn't pay her, and then as a way, her way of trying to pressure the company into paying her is one of the most egregious misuses of the YouTube strike system that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And what she basically did, basically at this point, it's any game that has her music in it, or like, and really
video that has her music
specifically, the music that she didn't get paid for. She is striking it down and having the uploaders remove it. The problem with this being, if you have 3 pending strikes on your channel, even if they're unresolved, even if you're in the right, your channel is deleted.
Yeah. End of story.
End of story. Wiped. No questions asked.
And you can't resolve the strikes for 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, it takes a while. Like, YouTube gets paid mostly by advertisers, so they're gonna do whatever they can to please them first and the creator second. That's just the nature of the game.
After they got sued by Amazon for $1 billion.
Absolutely. And also with the whole like adpocalypse thing where advertisers pulled out and YouTube lost bajillions of dollars.
Yes.
Anyway, so she's been just crushing these small channels with strikes, trying to trick them into thinking that it was the game company issuing the strike so that they would complain to the game company so that they would get into bad light, I guess. I mean, that's the only reasonable explanation I can come up with.
I love this woman's reasoning.
Right.
Not actually, it's, atrocious.
Baffling.
It's
astounding.
Truly horrific.
What other, like, amazing words can you come up with? Baffling, astounding, anything else?
I want to say awe-inspiring, but in the worst possible way.
Yeah, it's like jaw-dropping. That's a good one.
That's a good one. Let's do that. Jaw-dropping.
Gushers cracking. I don't know.
No.
Okay, moving on.
You killed the moment. You ruined it.
I killed the meme before it was born.
No memes.
No anyway, memes today, folks. So what? That's what she's been doing, and so Sid Alpha reached out to her, trying to ask her to stop. And
to alleviate, because if a lot of these channels have 2 strikes on them now?
Yeah.
And if any of them get hit again, they're gone.
Right. And there are a lot of companies that mass strike just trying to grab some cash real quick before it gets resolved. It becomes very dangerous getting a strike.
Getting 2 strikes is even worse.
Right.
So she's put a lot of these people in very, very bad
dangerous
positions.
territory. Also, like, say you have a channel where a small number of people follow you on social media, your channel goes poof. You have no way to notify your audience of anything. It's just gone.
You just have to hope that somebody will notice on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook.
You just have to hope that your dedicated fans notice that you're suspiciously missing. But if they don't follow you on social media, they're gonna have to guess it's a whole thing.
Right.
Anyway, her response to Sid Alpha was basically, I don't give a shit.
You're supposed to be mad at the company, was what her response was initially.
Her response was, come on guys, if you just comply with my evil plan, I'll alleviate the strikes.
More or less, honestly. It's true. She's like, I recommended that people get upset and complain to the developer of the game in Image Go Games, something like that, Image Go Studios, and then
they didn't do what I wanted.
Yeah, and because people didn't, I'm not going to take away the DMCA strikes.
So this is what I want to talk about.
This is really shitty.
Because this isn't even like companies trying to protect their IP or themselves. This is straight up, I'm gonna abuse the shit out of the system to launch a quote unquote mass scale attack against this company. That's the attempt here.
Right.
That's what's worrisome.
I have never seen anybody who thinks like this.
And I hope this story attracts a lot of news, because the thing is, this is against companies. So the good thing is YouTube might step up and do something, because advertisers might be like, anybody can just give us a strike for stupid stuff like this, and then we don't get money for a week or 3.
Right. Well, what if somebody goes after Markiplier, you know?
Yeah.
What if somebody makes a DMCA strike against him? What about the advertisers on his videos? Are they going to start pulling out?
Yeah, it's...
Think about it, YouTube.
Right.
Think about it hard.
Yeah, exactly. And even just in general, you start developing bad will. You start going the Take-Two route. It all goes south soon. And YouTube definitely already has a lot of bad will from its creators, because they're not they're not communicative as to what they are doing and what they want.
Because it's all automated. It's all automated.
And it's too big for them to take care of it on a human level. So it's tough.
Hello, Steam.
Yeah, and I understand how big YouTube is and how difficult of a job it is and how unique it is of a position to be in. But this needs to stop. Yeah. Like, there needs to be something.
There has to be a line drawn somewhere. Because I know that YouTube recently, I believe it was last year, when the whole "Where's their fair use" hashtag was going around on social media among the big creators like the Nostalgia Critic and Chris Stuckman, and people who dealt mostly in movies and do reviews, and they have to use this kind of footage in their videos because that's the only way that they're going to be able to show off their points and to keep their videos interesting beyond being just talking heads, which is kind of ironic when I consider how that applies to us.
All right.
And they said, a video, if a copyright strike is afflicted onto a video, then the money that video generates while the strike is up will be taken off to the side, and nobody gets it until the strike is resolved, and then the person who's in the right gets it, instead of, all the money just going to the copyright claimant.
Absolutely.
So that's a step in the right direction, but you need to be able to fight these things.
It's even if it's a bad solution from the start, something needs to be put in place. Some kind of tool, like just if you could say, if you could tell the system, hey, if somebody who doesn't really issue strikes, all of a sudden issues a butt ton of strikes, flag it.
Maybe it might be a problem. It might be false claimancy.
Right, and then, the companies that legitimately have to strike stuff down are far and few in between that could have human oversight. So if let's say, somebody else follows in Nintendo's footsteps and starts striking down their video game content,
right?
They have a PR department most likely. Yeah. So they're going to be able to follow suit with you, and if
work out something. Right. It might not be something that everybody agrees to or everyone is happy with, but you'll be able to work out something.
The thing that frustrates me the most is that unless advertisers pull out or YouTube starts losing a shit ton of money, there is really no incentive for YouTube to care for its creators.
No, there really isn't. And they should. The creators are what are making the money.
Absolutely, and I think it's such a tough part because video streaming is so expensive. Excuse me, I'm burpy today again. I don't know why. But video streaming is an expensive business. YouTube, I believe, and don't quote me on this, I believe YouTube still doesn't. It still costs as much as it makes money. Like it's so expensive to keep all these videos online and to keep it free and unlimited storage for videos that I think YouTube is actually still in the red. But because it's owned by Google, like it doesn't matter.
Right.
Google,
it can be in the red and it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Stay floating
because Google has such gigantic surplus in other sections that
Google owns roughly half the planet. So
Google equals Skynet.
Google equals Coca-Cola on the opposite side.
And I understand that this may seem like it's not really related to games. However, like this is specifically targeting Let's Plays, and so I think it's important to and
not just
signal boost as much as we can to the 30 people that will watch this.
Hey, you never know. Shoot for 50.
Yeah. can we get 50 likes?
Let's get 50 likes and subscribes. Come on, guys.
Mash that like button.
Okay, now it's going too far. All right.
Well,
but serious talk. Yeah. Mm-hmm, serious issue.
YouTube, just at least, please, for the love of God, when this stuff happens, make a statement.
Yeah.
Say, we're working on it. It's harder than we thought. We're doing our best.
Right.
And then we'll be like,
Steam
okay.
communicates
right.
with its users.
Right. Like, Valve did that amazing move where they were like, hey, Total Biscuit, and hey, Jim Sterling, come help us.
We're going to fix Greenlight because this is not working.
Absolutely. And, I mean, obviously, Greenlight is in a much, much worse situation than YouTube.
Right.
That doesn't mean YouTube can't take a page from Valve's book and, say, hey, Jenna Marbles, what do you want from YouTube?
Hey, Doug Walker, what do you want from YouTube?
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. Bring in the people who are making you your money so you can know how to protect them when stuff like this comes around. Because who knows could go down next? Will it be Angry Joe?
Well, the bigger channels are protected. The problem is that YouTube is an excellent breeding ground for new talent. Most recently, Vine died, and a lot of Viners found their home in YouTube. For better or for worse, they did. But if this system continues to be this lethal, it is going to even further increase the odds of young channels giving up, which is already at like 99.5%, because people like us trying to just do this.
Yeah. I mean, this is a hobby for us.
You can't. I don't expect Game of Dorks or this podcast to make money almost ever. If it does, that's great.
Money.
If it does, that's great. But I'm not counting on it. That would be foolish. That would be like going to a casino and say, you know what, today I feel like I'm gonna win.
Yeah, so today I'm gonna win $300,000.
Let me liquidize all my assets and just
I'm gonna sell my car. I'm gonna sell my house. I'm gonna take out the mortgage. We're just gonna go in and I'm gonna win all the money. And you walk out 2 hours later in nothing but your underwear and your socks.
Yeah, that's why we don't even have the logo up here, because later when I get the money, we need to do jobs. But hey, the yellow is nice.
Beautiful logo is not here. For our audio listeners, we're waving at the wall behind us that is yellow but does not have
we painted
the
wall
logo.
yellow, so that's cool. I like the yellow wall.
I do like the yellow wall as well.
Yeah, so
tea
time. Oi,
tea time, governor.
We're the worst.
We're terrible.
Alrighty. So that's it for the topic of the show. I just
dour subject, sad subject. It's just this lady has got to back off, because you can't blame people for using things that, one thing, don't belong to you. You do not own the copyright to this music. You made it, but the company owns the copyright because you were under their contract. That's how it works.
Yeah, this is extortion.
This is blackmail. This is what this is.
It's way worse than just a gray area of, we made this game, so we're not sure if we want you to just record it and upload it.
Even people like Digital Homicide and Maker Studios, the people who did those absolutely dubious takedown strikes on people like Total Biscuit and Jim Sterling, and Fun Creators did the same thing. They did it too because they thought that they were protecting their product. They were in the wrong, but they thought it was coming from, in some very, very far off version of reality and morality, a good place where they thought that they could protect something that was theirs. They were doing it the wrong way, and they were doing it very badly, but they kind of had some pebble to stand on. She doesn't have that. This is messing with people to get what you want.
Yeah, this is just bad news all around. This is bad news for everybody. I
want my tea right now.
Whoa, no, not the tea. The tea didn't do anything.
That's not a problem with the tea. Tea's, just people who are dumb and put me in a bad mood.
Yeah, I understand. Those Bronze Rocket League players, man, they get you riled up.
Really? Really?
That's a callback joke. You should have seen me earlier today. I was just like yeah, but seriously though, please do spread the word.
Yeah, spread the word about this.
About this
because
this
you know
person.
here's the thing. People can pursue legal action against this. She lives in the U.S.
Right, and
she doesn't have a shit ton of money, so she can't lawyer down and have things happen like that.
Right, and also
somebody needs to be taken to task for this.
Also, these are fraudulent DMCA strikes.
Yeah, this is legally. This is liable.
Potentially. I mean, we don't have a precedent, so who knows?
Okay,
maybe
this will be the precedent. God, I hope it's the precedent.
Let's hope so. We got to move on. We're getting too riled up.
Safe space. I am calm.
Yeah.
I'm a leaf on the wind.
Let's jump into releases.
Okay. Releases this week. Actually, with the end of E3, there's quite a bit of releases to talk about. Let's take a look at some of the best ones. I'm looking at this very handsome sheet of paper that is in my hand.
With a pen. That you have written down notes on.
That I dropped. But let's start with the good stuff. So for this week,
just a quick word. We're not doing all the releases. There's way too many. We're just gonna pick some highlights that we like and we think you might want to pay attention to.
Right. We're looking at the things that are somewhat interesting and
that are
coming out this week.
Gush worthy.
Yeah. And if you want to see the full list of releases, you can look at like IGN. We're looking at GameSpot for the full list of releases. It covers everything, including PC, mobile, everything. So starting us off, we have Elite Dangerous is coming off of, well, not off of PC, onto the major consoles through Legendary Edition on, what's the date on this? Tuesday, the 27th of this week.
Yay.
Now, I think Elite Dangerous is a great idea. It's what, to me, the prototype of what No Man's Sky should have been. Because while you can't explore a randomly generated galaxy and explore and discover new things, you can get to fly a ship in a basically life-size recreation of the solar system.
So
That's awesome.
Let me first read the write-up. Elite Dangerous is a space simulation game set in an online persistent full-scale recreation of the Milky Way. Full-scale recreation?
Yep.
Wait, but if it's the Milky Way, you can't just like do what's it called? It's a design method. Oh my god, why am I so stupid today?
You're not dumb.
The stuff where it's different every time. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Procedural generation.
Yeah. If it's the Milky Way, you can't do it because it's based on the Milky Way.
Yeah, and so, I like that because.
But how do you make such a giant map of the Milky Way to scale if you don't have procedural generation? That's my question.
Guesswork in mathematics.
I guess. I guess. This looks cool. I'll check it out.
Yeah. It's played all in first person, and it's all played from the perspective of the pilot in the ship whenever you're on your ship. So, if you can have moments where the air blows out and just everything goes dead silent.
Sounds like something that should come to VR.
Honestly, if it did, I'd probably consider buying VR.
Ooh, that's a bold statement.
Yeah. Okay.
Just before we move on, the Vive is also on sale for Steam for only $800. Or I think it's like $750 or something, and it's like
worth it.
Wow,
not worth it. That's my terrible Donald Trump impression.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
You know what's the Vive but half off PSVR. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep going.
Next one. DLC actually. Final Fantasy 15 episode Prompto. I have a soft spot in my heart for Final Fantasy 15. I don't consider it to be a truly great game. I think the story is a little weak. I think it does a lot of stuff, but it doesn't do any one thing particularly well. It's like the opposite of Horizon Zero Dawn. But in terms of more Final Fantasy 15, I mean, I'm okay with it. I'm going to be honest, of the main cast of Noctis, Ignis, Gladiolus, and Prompto is my favorite. So, just because he's funny. I think he's hilarious.
I don't know how this is exciting because besides the main game of Final Fantasy 15, every trailer and everything that they've shown for like episode Prompto and stuff has been really cringy to me.
It's a little bit, but that's kind of the charm.
And so I don't see the appeal of this. I don't want to give them more money. They've taken so long. It's like this should be free.
Maybe it should be free, but you know what? I mean, I don't know if I'll pick this up, but it definitely has my attention just because I do like this one particular character. I didn't pick up episode Gladiolus, and I don't think I ever will. But Prompto is the one that has my attention. That and okay, yes, I like Ignis too. So
do we know what the DLC includes?
Nope.
Is it just like a story expansion?
Probably. Maybe it's a camera, a game like Pokemon Snapshot.
Because I thought episode Prompto had the VR component in it.
That'd be nice.
Anyway, whatever.
So let's keep going. That's episode Prompto, also on the 27th. Finally, we have Titanfall 2 DLC. This one is free. The War Games. Now, this is my turn to gush because I love this game.
Just do it without tapping the mic, please. No.
So, I'm excited about this. It's not adding as much as they did last time because last time you had the new Titan and you had the new map and you had a new game mode and so on and so on and so forth. But I'm excited because I can't wait to see what they do with it. Words.
You're gushing too hard.
I'm gushing too hard, but I can't stop gushing.
Gush overload.
It's Titanfall, man. It's Titanfall. I love this game. But what I have to say about this is quite simple. I look forward to seeing how the gameplay changes because now Respawn is adding. Previously, it was a 2-weapon slot video game. Now it's going to be 3 for pilots. Titans are still just going to have the 1 weapon and their abilities, but I'm curious to see how this changes because in the first game it was a 3-slot game because you had pistol, personnel weapon, and anti-Titan weapon. Are they going to go back to that, or are they going to let you customize it a little bit more? If that's what they do, then I'm all for it because now live fire is something going to get a lot more fun.
And here's an opinion I would have had I tried that game. I have to pick it up at some point.
Oh yeah, this is a game that I think. If you haven't played it, you should. If I recommend no other game, I will recommend this one. But that's just me.
That's your pick of the week. Well, let's call it that.
The War Game? Yeah, fuck it. Yeah. Okay. War Game's my pick of the week.
Let's keep going then.
Yep. Next game. Get Even, according to my handy chart right here, is the next game that we picked up. So that's on Friday the 30th. And Get Even eschews the usual cliches and gun-ho settings currently inhabiting the FPS genre, and subtly removes the classic division between single-player and multiplayer experiences to unfold 2 linked stories. Now, see, you're nervous about this because we all remember Brink, which promised to do the same thing and then didn't turn out so well.
I remember Watch Dogs.
I also remember Watch Dogs, and that turned out slightly better than Brink did. At least you could play it.
It's always a plus if you can, play it.
Play the game.
Yeah, if you click on the link, it won't do much.
No, I was hoping it would show more of what we've got. But it's releasing for the PS4,
bunch of stuff,
Xbox One, and PC.
It looks interesting. I'm gonna wait until reviews come in and see what they say.
Right. I mean, I'm interested just because I love subtlety and stuff. I love horror, and if it's anything like Resident Evil 7, then you have my attention. Maybe not my money, but you have my attention. Yeah, I'm excited.
All right, let's keep going.
Okay. After Get Even, we have one that you're gonna love. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy.
We are 5 days away, ladies and gentlemen. I can't wait. I bought this game back in December. I am ready. I have actually talking about what we've been playing. I even forgot about this. I went back and rebeat Crash 1 and Crash 3. Crash 2 I have beaten before, so yeah, and I'm trying to 100% Crash 2. But I am so ready. I'm gonna read this one if you don't mind.
Go for it.
Your favorite marsupial Crash Bandicoot is back. My heart. Gross. 3 sizes. He's enhanced. entranced and ready to dance with the Insane Trilogy game collection. That's also a pretty cool write-up.
Yeah, that's pretty classic.
And everything coming out of this game, every trailer, the drip feed of the news, everyone who gets hands-on experience, it's all been positive.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so ready for Crash to be back. I cannot wait.
I mean, I have not played a Crash game before, but it's always seemed like a fun time. I might just pick this up if I have the spare time and the spare cash.
I think you should. It's way better than it has any right to be. Anyway, moving on.
We have actually 2 other expansions coming to 2 very good games on the next-gen systems. We have Shovel Knight, Spectre of Torment, which is getting its release on PS3, Vita, and the Xbox One. We have another Shovel Knight expansion.
I think it's the same thing, just on different systems.
No, Treasure Trove. On the PS4.
Okay, so these are things that have been released to the PC version, just come into other places. I'm really pumped for them coming to Vita. It's really exciting that
Shovel Knight's a great game.
That they have faith in the Vita is warming my heart again. This week is full of good news.
Except for the topic of the show, which was terrible.
Right.
All right.
But at least video games are doing nice and well. I beat Spectre of Torment. It's awesome. Go play it. Go get it right now. It's amazing. If you bought the original Shovel Knight on PC, this is free to you.
Oh, that's a great deal.
And go beat it. It's like a whole different game. It controls completely differently. Controlling Spectre, you have a ton of movement abilities. You have these little orbs that, when you point to, you hit attack, like he'll sort of like grapple hook him and like jump to them. And then you can like sort of climb walls a little bit. It's not like completely climb walls, but some surfaces, and for a certain amount of time you can climb him. And it's really cool because like you'll do these cool moves in boss fights now where you aim for like one thing and you hook onto it, and then you hook onto another thing, and you go above and into the back of the boss, and then like hook onto them and attack, and you'll be like hooking back and forth across the boss doing damage. So it's super cool.
It's Spider-Man, is what you're saying. No wonder you love it so much.
It's not Spider-Man. it's just I wouldn't say it's Spider-Man. I just think It has a lot of movement abilities, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
It's I don't really have a good comparison.
Bayonetta.
No, not necessarily. I think like it's also much faster than Shovel Knight, and also every level is different, redesigned completely. All the boss fights are different. This is a whole new game. It's so good. It's so good.
Worth your time.
Yeah.
Look out for it, folks. Also, speaking of DLC, we have Darkest Dungeon: The Crimson Court coming to PS4 and the Vita. Even I'm excited about this. Darkest Dungeon has always been one of those games that I've always wanted to try. Mm-hmm. I just haven't gotten the opportunity. So I'm hoping that this gives me that chance.
And also coming to Vita. Hey, getting that Vita love.
More Vita.
And the camera's focus is changing because why not?
Yeah, because I did the thing.
More love for the Vita. What a good week for releases, man.
Honestly, yeah.
What a good time to be alive and playing.
Video games. Video games on the Vita. It's a pretty good time for that.
It's if you've bought a Vita and then you were like, I love this system so much, I'm gonna buy a Japanese import Vita that's in blue, like me, because I'm insane. It's a good time to be alive this week.
Here we go. Also releasing on this coming Friday, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Apologies to everyone ever, because that was terrible.
I like that you I feel like what played out in your head right there was
should
I apologize to just Asian fans or it's just to everybody just in case
everybody, because I'm sure everybody was offended by that. That was
it's fine,
not cool. Anyway, so this is the Resident Evil 7 newest DLC after the death of Ethan Carter and that's I get the DLC names confused with another game just because the main character's name is Ethan.
After the really hard one.
After the really hard one, yeah. This is not a hero, and this is the one that I think everybody who played Resident Evil 7 has been looking forward to.
We should read the write-up first, sorry.
Okay, the write-up. It's about the main game. It's about the main game. It's not even about the actual...
I don't know if they give you the write-up once you open it up.
I'll just find it real fast. Nope, okay. Never mind. But anyway, we'll give our own impromptu write-up.
Talk about it, I'll find it.
Yeah, okay, so this is going to be the DLC that people have been looking forward to. It was announced at the end of Resident Evil 7. It covers what happens in this version of the Resident Evil universe, if this is a new version or just the sequel, to Chris Redfield. Played by a new actor this time because, that happens.
Alrighty, Resident Evil 7 sets a new course for the Resident Evil series as it leverages its roots and opens the doors to a truly terrifying horror experience. That's just the write-up for the main game.
That's what I said last time.
That's lazy.
Very lazy.
Come on.
GameStop will get your act together.
You can do better.
What are you talking about? It's GameStop. We can't.
It's GameSpot.
GameStop. Same thing.
They're all dying. No, I'm just kidding.
Everybody dies. You're dead, Game Informer. No, not really. You're fine.
I still keep getting those dumb magazines in my mail because one time eons ago I signed up for GameStop's dumb power-up rewards program.
Look at the back of the paper. You can see
it has notes
our
on
schedule. It's our notes
the
schedule of the show.
I'm sorry, we have to power through the rest of the show.
Power through. Right. Moving on to the next one. You asked for this one, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, Valkyria Revolution.
I've never
on the
played
Xbox One and the PS4.
I've never played Valkyria, but it's always been like on the back of my mind. Like this seems like a really cool franchise. So sorry, you read the write-up.
It's like Monster Hunter. The Valkyria, the embodiment of death, is returning to the battlefield in Valkyria Revolution, and players will have to do and sacrifice whatever is necessary to seek out ... Damn it.
I don't know if that's the end of the write-up or if GameSpot was just like too many characters.
Too many characters. More than tweet.
That's weird because when you open it up, it doesn't show you the description. So yeah, but seems cool. More Valkyria. Good for the Valkyria folk. I feel like we say that about every game.
The next one, Fury Definitive Edition.
All right. Let me break this down for you. Do you like bosses in Dark Souls?
Yes.
Do you like speed?
Yes.
Combine those two and you get Fury. Fury is...
I am so hard right now.
Fury is just straight up... In Fury, you are this character that's trying to break out of prison. And to break out of prison, you have to fight your way past several bosses in different stages, in different levels. And it's just a series of really intricate boss fights that you will have to play over and over to learn their patterns and to do well. It has a little bit of bullet hell. The combat is so tight though, and it feels so good, and it's really fast. It makes you feel like you're a freaking ninja. You have a bunch of moves. You shoot. You can dodge really fast and leave like a cool like trail behind you. You can swing your sword around. You can block, and there's like 5 phases to each boss. And it's really hard, but it's really, really fun. It's also a weird Japanese game, so the art style is weird. Your guidance person is this like weird floating rabbit-looking creature.
Mm-hmm. Reminds me a little bit of what we were talking about a couple weeks ago with Hyper Light Drifter, which is basically the same thing, but it sounds like this time they've just been like, okay, bosses, just bosses.
It really feels like. It feels like Neo boss battles way faster. That's what it feels like.
Sounds pretty good to me.
So it's awesome.
Okay.
It's awesome.
Next up, we have I believe this is our final release of the week because there are too many others to talk about. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, The Master Trials came up in our news stories this week. So this is hard mode.
Legend of Zelda for the Nintendo Wii U, blah, 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 embracing world. This is right up for the main game. You know what Zelda is.
We know what Breath of the Wild is.
The couple cool things in this DLC, if you get it. First of all, you get a second save.
2 saves!
But the things that I have found that are cool, it will show you on your map where you've been over 200 hours of game time. Up to 200 hours of game time.
It's kind of impressive, actually.
Which is, the cool thing about it is you can look on your map and just be like, oh, I totally didn't check out this area over here. Maybe I should go check it out.
Yeah.
Which is really cool for me, who's been asking for a tool that helps you explore.
Yeah.
And keep track of where you've been. And this dumb focus is off again. I'm sorry. I'll set it to manual focus next time.
What is the camera doing?
I thought the Canon autofocus was better than this. Anyway.
It's Skynet.
More Legend of Zelda. I believe the season pass came with my Switch bundle, so
you know what? Play it. Let us know how it is next week.
I'll play it, but I've beat it, so I kind of don't want to go back, but I'll try. I'll give it a shot. I'll see if I have it. If I have to pay for it, I'll just tell you it's a no-go.
Yeah.
Anyway,
bullshit.
That's it for some of the release highlights of this week. Right. We're not going to go over everything. We
don't have time to go into all of these because there's quite a few.
There's too much. Anyway, any final thoughts you had on DMCA strikes?
Stop it.
That's a really great note to end on.
Yeah.
Please stop.
No more of this. Come on, guys.
Yes.
You're bigger than this. You're better than this. I hope you're more mature than this. DMCA's, if you're using them to actually protect copyright, you're using them for what they're intended for. Just make sure you're not screwing somebody over when you do it. If you're using them as a weapon, no. Just no.
It's a problem. It's a problem for everybody because especially in the YouTube world, audiences grow together. There's no you and me. There's just us. People watch you and watch me. Like there's entire channels now that are set up on being quote unquote rivals to each other that make response videos that criticize each other and create viewing loops in between themselves.
We should get a rival. Let's get a rival.
Mash your buttons.
No.
Thank you for this autofocus. Thank you for watching Button Mashers episode 4. You've made it to the end of the show. Congratulations.
You got through our gushing.
Yes. My name is Chris.
I'm Connor.
You can find us on Twitter. I am at the Vanilla Chris.
And I am at Connor Aham, Hamme.
And Button Mashers, as always, is the podcast where we talk about video games. You can find us on Soundcloud, on iTunes, under the name Button Mashers. If you are trying to look us up on YouTube, just search for Game of Dorks, and you should
find the channel,
come up on the channel, come up on our podcast pretty easily. Again, thank you for watching.
If you stuck to the end, I love you.
Yeah. If you enjoyed this kind of show, please give us a subscribe.
And feel free to comment really about us, even if you're saying, "Hey, these guys look like idiots." We love it all.
These guys have bad haircuts. That's fair. That's fair. You know, this is not great. I'll be honest.
It's okay.
Yeah. Alrighty. So we post every Monday. Sometime on Monday. I don't know when.
When it goes
This
up.
autofocus is pissing the hell out of me. I'm so sorry about this. We're blurry as hell now. Thank you so much for watching and sticking with us. We will see you next time. Have a good week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.